What if you have, let's say, the official act is appointing ambassadors, and the president appoints a particular individual to a country, but it's in exchange for a bribe. Somebody says, I'll give you $1 million if I'm made the ambassador to whatever. How do you analyze that?
That, I think, would fall under this court's discussion in Brewster, where the court held with respect to legislative acts that bribery is not an official act, which also matches the common law background. So the way that this court in Brewster kind of sliced at the joint was to say accepting the bribe and the agreement to sex the bribe are not official acts. That's private conduct.
Okay, it's not.
Appointment would be essentially an unrestrictable power of this court that Congress couldn't directly regulate.
It's not, accepting the bribe isn't an official act, but appointing an ambassador is certainly within the official responsibilities of the president. So how could you? How does your official acts or the official acts boundary come into play when it's going to be official, assuming that the president is innocent? But the whole question is whether he's going to be found innocent or guilty.
Again, I think Brewster and Johnson do address that, or very persuasively at least, in a slightly different context. Brewster and Johnson say the indictment has to be expunged of all the immune official acts. So there has to be determination what's official, what's not official.
Well, you expunge the official. You say, okay, we're prosecuting you because you accepted $1 million. They're supposed to not say what it's for, because the what's for part is within the president's official duties?
There has to be, we would say, independent source of evidence for that. And keep in mind that this indictment charges what this court has described as unrestrictable powers of the president. So the premise, the logical premise of this indictment is that Congress, by passing vague and general criminal statutes, has purported to directly regulate the president's exercise of things like the exercise of the appointment and removal power, things like his ability to speak directly to the American public, core exercises of his authority under the Recommendations Clause to recommend to Congress, members of Congress, the measures he thinks necessary and expedient. So you have an indictment in this case that goes right to the heartland of the president's powers, that alleges a whole series of official acts and tries to tie them together by saying, well, there's a private aim or a private purpose in that case, and that's a situation which, of course, could be alleged in virtually any indictment.